Hi everyone, welcome back to the shed. Yes, I'm sheltering in my shed again today. We've had Storm Henk going right over the UK. That has brought so much rain. Only yesterday, Caroline and I were driving and there was a huge tree, massive thing. Speaking to someone today and they said it's been there over 100 years and it had fallen right across the road. And we were just behind the bus that was next to the tree and we had to divert. It's been mayhem. So a combination of things means I'm hiding in my shed, as is my way. And I wanted to share a few things with you because, as you know, my shed is full. Full isn't the word for it. My shed is stacked with stuff. But there are things that never got to the shed. In fact, they never got from the river or the beach or the tip where we found them, because some things are just too big to carry. And that's something I've heard Caroline say to me more than once. You're not taking that home. Check this one out.
No, you're not taking that home.
But I know what it is.
It's a bit of a pylon, is it?
No.
No?
It's a support to carry a pipe.
Ooh, let's go and have a look.
It gives you some idea of height. I can reach 8 foot.
Ooh.
That's got to be 10 foot.
Oh, yeah.
Again, typical of the kind of work that would have been done in the colliery. If they wanted to carry a trough or a pipe work, they'd build something like this, weld it up in the workshops, get a half a pipe on the top, weld it on, and away to go. Beautiful piece of industrial past, but as Caroline quite rightly says, not the sort of thing I'm going to carry home with me today.
I'd love to have that in the garden though. Imagine growing your beans up that. Whoa.
Yeah. Yes, wouldn't that have been some bean support? You could see where Caroline's mind was. She does love her garden. And of course, sometimes we can see uses for things. We can see things we can make. But on that occasion, whilst the idea was great, the item was too big to carry. But I'm not the only one who finds things that are too big to carry. Now, I know I have a reputation for my scrap. I just love it. You know, to me, that lock is lovely. You know, I just can't help it. I see the beauty in scrap iron. But there was an occasion when it was Caroline found some scrap iron. And this was definitely too big to carry.
Look what I found. I don't really know what it is. See if we can spot it. It's huge. It's like a barrel with pipes going in and out. Do you think it's some sort of boiler? Is it something from the small steam engine? Or is it a house boiler? There's lots of nuts and things and rivets. I put my foot in it. You can see the size there. That's quite large. And as pretty as that is, I'm still tempted to wander on down. Can you see the sea? Look at the light glistening on the waves. It's a beautiful day for a paddle, so come on, pop your wellies on, we're going in. I just love paddling. There you can see the beach. Let's fill in the distance. Not terribly busy today, but there are quite a few people, probably about 50 people that I can see from one end of the beach to the other. But none of them are paddling. We're having the most fun.
Yes, it is amazing what you can find on a beach. And I've got to be honest, that was a beaut. But, as Caroline said, even if it wasn't just the size, we get a feeling 3/4 of that was under the sand, so we never would have got it out. But it just goes to show, don't presume what may be there when you go out, because on a beach, it's not just shells, as pretty as they are, But sometimes, especially if you're in Lyme Regis, you find scrap. But of course, Lyme Regis is not famous for its scrap. Well, it may be these days because we've covered the scrap on Lyme Regis in numerous videos. Check them out. But it's really famous for its fossils. And we love collecting fossils. Absolutely love it. And Lyme Regis is one of our favourite places to go. But as you'll see here, sometimes even the fossils are too big to carry.
There's the sea. Here are some rocks, and look in this rock here. It's a huge ammonite fossil. Look at that. The rock though is so big, if I put my foot there, we're not taking that home. Look at the weight of that. Lovely though.
Yes, that fossil was staying where it was. There was no way that was coming home with me. But one of the things we pick up as well on the beaches is driftwood. Now, you know I love driftwood. I love making things with driftwood, but I also love driftwood that has its natural form and takes on a shape. I've got a piece just here, and you can see that sort of natural form where you've got the eye and the mouth and the form of a head there or a skull. That on one occasion there was a natural form skull that I was convinced as we were approaching it I could take home. I thought I could drag it off the beach. I thought it was worth the effort and that I'd be able to have it here on display in the garden. Then we got closer and have a look.
Phil's found a bit of driftwood, which doesn't look that big on camera, but it's rather large. Phil said, yes, I should be able to carry that. It's driftwood. Look at the weight of that.
Look, it looks like a dragon's head.
It does. Maybe it's a dragon's skull. So look. Oh yes, could well be. But whatever it is, it's staying on the beach.
Oh,
You do yourself a right bit of mischief if you pick that up.
it's a long way to the car park.
It is, yes.
Okay, I'll give up on that one. Yes, I would love to have brought that back home from the beach. And it would have really looked the part, sat out as just a feature in the garden, I'm sure. But too life-size. That was a real life-size dragon skull piece of driftwood. And too heavy. It wasn't coming away. But as you've seen, most of these things we come across and they're in our path as we travel, if we're on the beach or walking through a river or whatever. But there was an occasion when I went out of my way and risked getting very wet just to get to a find that at the end of the day I knew wouldn't be coming home with us. That was down on the River Ely. How many of you remember this trip and this bike?
Now Phil has spotted a bike in the river under the bridge. The water suddenly gets very deep. You can probably hear the noise from this little bit of an outlet here. But Phil has decided he's going for it.
Well, there's lumps of concrete here and there, so I'm going to see if the underwater stepping stones serve my purpose, because I've got to get and see that bike.
Okay, then off you go. We'll film you falling in.
Thank you.
You think Phil could ride it back?
water.
Phil's got a wet leg again.
See a coin.
Ooh. Is it a doubloon? A gold sovereign? Ooh, 5p. Party time.
Good. The keeper goes there.
Yes, that was certainly a day for bikes. We found so many bikes, scooters. We even found a motorbike embedded in the banking on that particular stroll. But I got there. My underwater stepping stones did the trick. And it was a bit hairy, but eventually I managed to retrieve it. And from bikes to bricks. Now you know I don't leave bricks behind. No. I've carried as many as 6 or 8 bricks down a river. I've left them on the side and collected them on my return. I just can't stand the idea of leaving a brick. But there are times when you have to. There's times when the bricks are not singular, but plural. How many of you remember the wavy wall?
Look at this bit of wall. Now it just looks like a brick wall. I don't know if you're picking up the contours yet, but if I come down like this and across.
It's very Dali-esque.
It is, you'd swear Salvador Dali designed that, and it's not, it's just been washed by the sea, but oh, it's lovely. It goes, ooh, ooh. That is lovely. I'd really like to have that in my garden. But if I put my hand there for perspective, that's staying firmly in its place.
Yes, if ever there was a trip, a day, that personified and captured in its completeness the concept of too big to carry, it has to be that trip that we took on a summer's day up to Cosby Beach, just above Liverpool. We met Tom there and had a wonderful time, and we have been threatening to go back ever since. And even though we don't do the mudlarking on a regular basis anymore, we haven't done any for a year now, as we've got to be very careful with regards to our health and safety. A trip to that beach perhaps is one we would do, because we wouldn't be out in the wilds, we wouldn't be away from the people around, and it's much easier underfoot than walking in rivers. So perhaps that's something to look forward to in 2024. But for the moment, I'm going to take you back to that beach, because I suppose it's all down to personal taste. But I think on this occasion, perhaps we kept the best till last when it comes for things that we couldn't take home, but we just had to film. There's 2 here. Have a look what you think.
Look at this. Oh, I wonder if that's supposed to be a crown. I put my foot on there again for perspective. Look at that. I wonder who carved that. They must have taken such great pride in carving that. What an achievement. Oh, look. Oh, wow. Oh, look at this. Oh, look what I found. It's got a gargoyle on it. Let's get my shadow out the way. Oh, look at that. Oh, that is amazing. Oh, let's see how big that is. Oh, look. Come and see this, Phil. I was heading for a column and I found this with a gargoyle.
Oh wow.
That is pretty impressive.
I'm impressed.
That's got to be find of the day.
Yep, I'm going to concede there. That is find of the day.
I think it's probably far too heavy to take with us. Would you like to try picking it up?
I think what we'll do is, if me and Tom leave the step from my shed, you and take that instead.
Yeah, good idea.
Look, see if I can clear a bit of space around and see what's there.
Looks like some sort of pediment, doesn't it? Oh, look, it goes right down, does it? It's not an arch, is it? shadow is right in the wrong place. Right in the wrong place. And that's not going anywhere, is it?
Little digger. Come on, little digger. That seems to be the end.
You still can't lift it though, can you?
Wow, even seeing them again after so long, I still can't get over. It takes me right back to what I described at the time as nature's display of human architecture, just spilled out along the beach. Such intricate carving, and then that incredible gargoyle there. It was amazing, and we were just so thrilled that day to be able to feel the atmosphere and witness a part of history, because of course all of those pieces were brought from a tragic time in our history during the war, when Liverpool was bombed and the stuff had to be moved away very quickly in order to rescue people and to try and return the city to normality, and it was all dumped way up above the city, and slowly the sea is drawing out items that were buried for decades, and there were a few of them there. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this little trip down memory lane. I hope you've enjoyed seeing the things that I can't show you here in the shed, because they're not here in the shed, but show you some of those things that we had to leave behind, but we'll always remember because they were amazing finds, and through the joy of video and the magic of YouTube, we can remember them and we can keep sharing them with you. If you have enjoyed this video, please give us a thumbs up, and don't forget, share it with all your friends. The more the merrier. But most importantly, until the next time, have fun. Bye.